Good morning, viewers. This is Kasturi De. Today, I'm going to again discuss the atomic structure according to ICSS syllabus class 8. So, I'm starting with this at a modern atomic model today. Okay. So, in my last video, I discussed about the Niels Bohr's theory. Just a recap of that. See, Niels Bohr's theory said that, according to Niels Bohr's theory, the electrons, they revolve around a fixed orbit. Okay, fixed orbits or cells with a very high speed. Now, with each orbit, and they have in the each orbit, there is a fixed amount of energy. Okay. Now, the electrons in these orbits or the shells, they do not gain or lose energy until and unless an external force is applied on it, and there, that's why their position, that is the position of the electrons, that are maintained. Okay, so the inward force, that is the force of the electrons towards the nucleus, or the nucleus pulling the electrons towards itself, is counterbalanced by the electrons which is moving outward, the force which is applied by the electrons by against this force. So these two forces, the opposite two forces, they are counterbalanced. Same amount of forces, inward and outward force. Okay. Now that prevents the electrons from falling into the nucleus and make the structure of the nucleus, structure of the atom, that make it stable. Okay. Now we come to the modern atomic model. Here, an atom consists of subatomic particles. We know that electrons, protons, and neutrons, there are two structural parts of an atom. That is, one is nucleus and the other is the orbit or the shell, which is present in the empty space that is surrounding the nucleus, which is an extra nucleus part. Okay. Now, that is outside the nucleus. That's why it's called extra nucleus part. Now, the nucleus is positively charged. We know that the protons, which are present in the nucleus, they have positive charge, and the neutrons, which are present also in the nucleus, they do not have any charge. So the nucleus is positively charged. Okay. And the protons and neutrons together, collectively known as nucleons. Okay. The protons and neutrons, they are collectively known as nucleons, that are held firmly in the nucleus by a strong nuclear force. Okay. A strong nuclear force which is present in the nucleus, that will hold the nucleus together firmly inside the nucleus. The entire mass of an atom lies in the nucleus, since electrons have negligible mass. Okay. So the electrons having the negligible mass, the entire mass of the atom, which we know that the mass atom has some mass, so that mass is entirely in the central part of the atom, that is in the nucleus, because the electrons which are moving around the nucleus, they have negligible mass, that is almost no mass, you can say. The positive charge of the nucleus is due to the protons which are present in it. Okay, the proton remain unaffected by the neutrons, as the latter have no electric charge. I told you the neutrons, they do not have any charge. Okay, and then the orbits of the shells, they are imaginary parts that are traced by electrons in the space around the nucleus. Okay, each orbit, I told you that each orbit, they have a fixed amount of energy, and so they are also known as these orbits have energy, they are also known as energy levels or energy shells. Okay, the electrons revolve around the nucleus in these orbits. The shells or the orbits near to the nucleus has the least energy, and the farthest one has the highest energy. Okay, near the nucleus, they have least energy, and the more away from the nucleus, that will have more energy, as because they need they need some force to revolve around the nucleus. Okay, as because the space increases, no, so total they have to move around. As the number of electrons and the number of protons in an atom are same, so there is a neutral charge in an atom. Okay, so the number of electrons that has negative charge, and the number of protons that has the positive charge, that amount of charge is also equal, and therefore the atom is electrically neutral. Now, no two elements contain the same number of protons or electrons. The properties, therefore, the properties of each element differ. So why the properties of each element differ? Because it is due to the fact that no protons no two elements will have the same number of protons or electrons. Okay. Next, we come to the electronic configuration in an atom. So what do we mean by the electronic configuration in an atom? It is the distribution of electrons which revolve around the nucleus of an atom in different orbits or shells of the energy levels. So how the electrons are arranged in each orbit which are around the nucleus, that is known as electronic configuration. Okay, this electronic configurations was proposed by two scientists, Bohr and Bury. Okay, so this according to this theory is known as Bohr and Bury theory. Okay, now according to him, both of them, the maximum number of electrons that can be present in any shell of an atom is 2n square. What is 2n square? What is n? N is the number of shells as counted from the nucleus. Okay, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 from the nucleus. So the number of shells which are counted from the nucleus away, okay, that is the n. That is the value of n. Now the outermost shell, which is known as the valence shell, that cannot have more than 8 electrons, and the shell which is next to the nucleus will have, next to it, that is, just previous to the valence shell, that will have more, cannot have more than 18 electrons. Okay, so the outermost shell will have 8 electrons at the most, and the penultimate cell, that is the shell which is just before the ultimate, that is outermost shell, that will contain not more than 18 electrons. It is not necessary for a given shell to complete itself before another shell starts forming. Okay, so according to these theory, that it is not necessary to complete a shell. It is not that you will have to complete the total number of electrons which has to be present in one shell, complete it, and then go to the then go to the next shell. No, that is not a hard and fast rule. You can the atom can have some electrons in the one shell, and next shell also it can have some electrons without completing the penultimate shell. As a rule, a new shell is formed as soon as the shell attains 8 electrons. As soon as one shell has 8 electrons, the other shell starts forming. Okay, an atom becomes stable when its outermost has 8 electrons and it has one shell containing 2 electrons. Only one shell which has 2 electrons, that is the first one. First shell, which is very close to the nucleus, the closest to the nucleus, that has 2 electrons, and the rest one can have 8 electrons or more. Okay, but the last shell, that is the valence shell, will have to have 8 electrons at the most, not beyond that, but it can be less than that. Okay, and even the penultimate shell also can have 8 or more, but not more than 18. Okay, now if atom can become stable if its outermost shell contains 2 electrons or 8 electrons. Okay, next is the electronic configuration in an atom is KLMN. Okay, see, n becomes 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 square equal to 2, that is equal to 2. L is 2 square into 2, that's 8. 3 square into 2, that's 18. 4 square into 2, that becomes 32. Okay. Next, we come to atomic number. It is the number of protons present in the nucleus of an atom of an element. Okay, so atomic number, what is atomic number? Atomic number is a number of protons which is present in the nucleus of an atom of an element. Okay, how many number of protons are present in the nucleus of an atom? That is the atomic number. As a number of protons is equal to number of electrons and an atom is electrically neutral, therefore the number of electrons is also equal to the number of that is atomic number of an element. So atomic number can be the number of protons or the number of electrons. Therefore atomic number Z is equal to number of protons or equal to number of electrons. It is represented by a number on the left hand side of the symbol. If you write the symbol like aluminium, if you write it Al, the symbol will be 13. See here it is written 13 on the left hand side bottom as a subscript. Okay, so it is an atom of aluminium. Atomic number of aluminium is 13 and the nucleus of aluminium is 13 protons. The nucleus of aluminium is 13 units of positive charge. There are 13 electrons revolving around the nucleus of an aluminium. Okay, next we come to the mass number. See, mass number is the total number of protons plus neutrons. Okay, that is total number of nucleons, you can say. Protons plus neutrons combined together forms nucleons. So total number of protons plus total number of neutrons make the mass number, or also it can be called as atomic mass. Okay, so it is written on the left hand side of the symbol as a superscript. Like here, you can see it is written on 27, that is written as a superscript. So mass number of aluminium is 27. That means number of electrons, number of neutrons and protons, that becomes 27. Okay, so number of protons is equal to 13. Okay. And number of neutrons is equal to mass number minus atomic number. Okay. Atomic number, we know it may be number of protons or number of electrons. So atomic mass number minus atomic number, that is A minus Z, that becomes the number of neutrons, that is 14. Okay. Now we come to the atomic number and mass number of certain elements. Like hydrogen, atomic number is 1, atomic mass is 1.0079. Helium 2, 4.0026. Lithium 3, atomic number, atomic mass 6.941. Beryllium 4, 9.0122, boron 5, 10.811, carbon 6, 12.0107, nitrogen 7, 14.0067, oxygen 8, 15.9994, fluorine 9, 18.9984, neon 10, 20.1797, sodium 11, 22.9897, magnesium 12, 24.305, aluminium 13, 26.9815, then silicon 14, 28.0855, phosphorus 15, 30.9738, sulfur 16, 32.065, chlorine 17, 35.453, argon 18, 39.0983, potassium 19, 39.948, calcium 20, 40.078. Okay. Next, in my next video, I'll start discussing on isotopes. Okay. That's a new topic. I'll discuss on that in my next video. Please go through this. If you have any doubt, please do let me know. Please do write in the comment box. Do share with your friends and colleagues so that they can also be benefited from these videos. Okay. And you can also, if you have any queries, you can also refer to my email ID, kasturi74@gmail.com. Okay. So do subscribe to get the notification of my next video. Thank you. Thank you for watching and have a good day.